Yeah, I appreciate y'all sticking around for the no major skips. We can actually hop right into the any percent run. I don't need anything else for setup if we want to just like get the timer and stuff ready. And then you can just let me know. I'll stick with green as well, so we can still do the green Bugsnax.
Yep. Let's give us just a second to reset the time.
Yep. While they're doing that, I'll say, yeah, like I said at the beginning, please play this game. It's incredible. That was the no major skips category, which is basically like no loading zones early, playing the game as more or less intended. We're now going to see the any percent category, which is super broken, and we don't really do much of any quest at all. So it's going to be pretty fun. You'll get to see two different sides of that and see if this is a game you might want to pick up or at least play casually. So, but yeah, just
while we set up, we did have another $20 anonymous donation, so thank you so much. We're currently sitting at $340. We are about $63 from our first milestone, which was SASE 2019's 403. So looking to try to see if we can at least beat that by the end of the day. So thank you so much for your donations.
Yes, thank you very, very much for all the donations, all the support that we've gotten so far for OR. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think whenever you are ready with the 80% run, just count it out, let us know.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna just open up my own splits in case, you never know. I was close enough to world record that time. Maybe I will be on this one too. But this one is a lot more tight. So, okay, so we'll stick with green. Same timing starts on the load screen. So I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so any percent. I'm going to kind of give you, I'm going to talk about the skips that we do, and I'll kind of give you an idea in comparison to the run that we just did where we are when we do the skips. So first the first thing we do is we have an intro skip. We did it a little bit already where we walked on an invisible barrier to across the bridge, but we're going to further that skip by not doing any of Philbo's quests at all. Oops, we missed that one. That's fine. So we're going to jump up here. We got a nice little backup for this. So we're going to jump on this invisible barrier still and cross over, just like we did in no major skips. All that does is skip an opening cutscene that we don't need to see. But before, we talked to Philbo, and we did all this quest where we caught the Strabbies and the Roodle and stuff like that. We're not going to do any of that. We're going to run up here, jump on this rock. We're going to jump over here, and scale across the top of the rocks, and there we go. We skip all of that intro stuff with Philbo. Saves probably about a minute and change, I would say. So that's a notable skip. Like I mentioned at the top, Garden Grove is exactly the same. It's the same in every category. You can't do it any faster. So we're going to do Garden Grove just the same as we did in the No Major Skips run, hopefully a little bit better, though it was pretty close. We did miss one Shishka bug, but we were able to get the really fast Frider, so hopefully we can do it again here. So I'm just gonna focus on hopefully doing this fast. Let's see. So we're gonna do the same thing, sling some ketchup here. All right, try to capture the Frider through the floor again. Not gonna work, that's fine. Not gonna miss the cycle though. Definitely not. And actually, so the other way we used to capture the Frider is just like this. So you actually get to see both sides, which is kind of cool, where we just throw some ketchup there and wait for the Frider to be attracted to it, the old-fashioned way, as it were. And there we go. We got the Shishka bug that time. So we didn't get fast Frider, but we got the Shishka bug, so that's good. Got to see two different sides of how annoying this could be sometimes. All right, so we turn in the two Shishka bugs, and then the bunger. Worth noting as well, so like the way we speed up that process as well is if you hammer the use button after it skips the, usually there's a long animation where their limb transforms, and then they look at their limb and see the new transform limb. But if you mash the use button, which in PlayStation 5 is square, then you can actually skip that animation entirely, which saves us a lot of time. We're gonna hop by Philbo because he's a little slow. Run in here and get the journal just like we did last time.
Hey there. Like, I'm not. It says it also
All right, go through this tutorial experience with Beffica again. Wish we could skip this, I really do. Especially since there's a lot of mashing.
See, you'll have.
All right, walk through here.
Let's get this over with, buddy.
All right, so that's the Garden Grove, just like we basically exactly the same as we did now earlier. So now what we're gonna do
Well,
is we're still gonna walk down to the fire pit with Philbo, interview Philbo. We still have to do that. We can't avoid that because we don't have access to any tools or anything. The reason why I choose to walk forward a little bit there instead of just turning and falling down right away is if you turn too fast and fall down right away, Philbo can actually get stuck on that fence a little bit. But if you walk forward, it ensures he'll make it all the way, and it doesn't waste any time because Philbo still has to move the same amount of distance. All right, so we're gonna do Philbo's interview really quick.
well, one day there was a bit I couldn't. Lisbon, nobody, you can once
All right,
you
and
should-
then
you could, anyway, I'll be all right.
now is where the run's gonna get real busted. So instead of getting everyone to return, we're gonna hop on this fence. We're going to hop over to this building with a very precise jump, hop onto the rooftops, jump across the rivers. And now we're going to hop on some rocks. Oop, oop. There we go. Now with some very, very careful parkouring there, we actually get into Sugar Pine Woods early. So for example, that skips two of the everything up till past the second party. So that's roughly, we roughly did about, I don't know, 25 to 30 minutes in 5 minutes of the run. Now we're gonna do another skip here. Oop, didn't make that one, that's fine. So we're going to get into Frosted Peak early. That skips 3 out of the 4 parties and everything up to where we have to get Shelda, Floofty, and Eggabell. So already skipping that. Now you think, oh, let's go talk to Eggabell, right? We don't need to talk to Eggabell either. We'll bypass Eggabell. We're gonna pull out our launch pad here, scale some rocks, jump across. We don't need door codes. We don't need any of that. We're gonna launch ourselves up this way. We're gonna throw our tripwire here and place it very precisely and clip through the door just like that. Voila, we're in the Bugsnax already. So about 1 hour into the no major skips run, it took about less than 6 minutes. So this game is busted. It's very, very busted. So one thing that's worth noting is, so like when we broke into Peak, when we broke into Woods early by skipping past the loading zone, it didn't give us anything new. It actually didn't progress the story whatsoever, in terms of like notable quests being achieved without us doing them in our journal, unlocking tools or anything like that. But once we crossed into Frosted Peak, the game gets really confused. It's like, okay, you shouldn't be at Frosted Peak unless you have literally all the tools. You've done all these quests, yada yada yada. So it gives us all the tools we need, and if we don't need to, but if we looked in our journal, it would also show that we've done like all of the quests that we would have supposed to have been done if we were playing the game normally. All right, now we are in the Bugsnax again. This is actually all the same, but with one notable exception, but it's not until the very end of the sequence.
What you think? Bugs, I almost lost myself, but somehow I pushed back.
So we're still mashing through the Lisbert stuff.
Me.
But yeah, I explain all that, like why we have the tools and stuff, because you're probably wondering, like, well, how did we even get the launch pad, the tripwire, everything we needed to get through the door fast? But it's because the game is confused and gave it to us in advance.
No.
But yeah, basically we use the collision of the tripwire facing a little bit towards the door, and we basically shove our character in the gap between the door and the tripwire, so it gets very confused and it just clips us directly through the door, and that's how we get through the door skip.
See, it would. Wait. Oh.
All right, so one thing that's different here ever so slightly is that we're actually not only mashing the text skip button, we're actually going to mash square here, which actually enters into, while that cutscene is playing, it actually enters into a conversation with Eggabell at the same time. The reason why we can do that here is because we have not talked to Eggabell at all in the any% run, because we skip her entirely. So we go to talk to her, and it's like the first time we ever talked to her, so it's fine. The reason why we do that is because it actually triggers the loading zone like 2 to 3 seconds early for whatever reason. So we do that in any percent, but we can't do it in no major skips or anything like that because we've already talked to Egabel and completed her dialogue. So if we try to do that again, the game will actually it'll actually crash, not soft lock, it'll crash. So that we can't, it'll just like crash and shut down, does not know what to do when you're trying to talk to a character you've already talked to in a cutscene that's playing at the same time. Gets all sorts of confused. All right, and then we're already in, look at that, we're already in the gauntlet, about 9 minutes into the run or so, a little less than 9 minutes into the run, and we just go through the gauntlet again. The gauntlet is done the exact same way. Like I said, basically once you're in the undersnacks, the runs are the same from that point forward. There's really not much different. But I do want to say thank you so much to everyone who donated. I always love showing off the tips and tricks rather that go into this any percent run, and they are really not hard to execute. So like I said, it's a very low barrier to entry. If you're someone who gets kind of intimidated by all of the tech that goes into a speed run, you can learn all these tricks with relative ease. So I highly suggest checking it out if it interests you at all. All right, same thing here. We're gonna punch some donuts. Just a normal sentence to say. All right, trigger that so that we can get that done early. Great. Okay, that was relatively quick. We can get that faster. If you aim it exactly at Shelda and Floofty, you can actually get them to swallow the Picantis whole, which is the absolute fastest. It's so precise to do that though. It's really, really difficult. So most of the time they'll eat like half, and then you have to squash the other half. So not much you could do there. Boop, boop. Same thing here. Like I said, this is the easiest of the gauntlet challenges to do because you really can't fail it. I will note as well, so in the 100% route of this game, because there's a lot of side quests that you get to learn about all of these characters' motivations and things like that. But because some of those side characters, their quests involve you having to feed them a ton of Bugsnax to the point where they actually would transform into a Bugsnax. Before at this point, it's actually not a problem. They just look kind of funny and all transformed with the various foods and stuff that you've given them. But if you complete their side quests and in full, and they're already fully transformed as you go into the gauntlet, which should be a problem because theoretically, if they ate another Bugsnax, they would succumb. The game has a way of making sure that you save them because you went through the effort of doing all their side quests. So once all their side quests are completed, you actually can't lose them. So in a 100% category, you can't lose any any of the Grumpuses. I was able to showcase that time. I was able to wedge myself into the environment, which saved us a little bit of time, which is great. Barrels again, you know, same kind of deal. This precise placement of the barrel so we can kill them all at once. Ooh, this might be too late. Okay, we got it. I was a little nervous about that one. Timing is very important here. If you actually shoot the barrel too early at these grape skeetos or sweetie flies, I can't remember what they are. They'll actually not be destroyed by the barrel itself. They'll be destroyed by the juice that's on the ground. Ooh, this is too late, I think. Yep. See, that's why it's very precise. So yeah, they'll be destroyed by the collision of the barrel onto the ground. Oh, this is too early too. Yep. So you can see just how precise that is. They'll be destroyed by the collision of the barrel itself, not what's inside the barrel. So it will actually make it so when the next wave of cheap hoofs comes out, the middle one will die as it spawns, which is a problem because then you have to time it out even more cautiously so that the end cheap hoofs are close enough to each other that you could shoot another barrel to kill them, but it also just takes longer anyway because you have to wait longer for that cycle to occur. But yeah, so you got to see a perfect barrel and a not so perfect barrel, so at least I got to show you both sides of the equation there. You're getting your full money's worth here at supporting Autism Speed Event. Voila. Please hit it. Thank you. Please, please, please. All right, this has gone much better than it did the first time, so I'm happy about that at least. But barrels went poorly, so there's always some kind of give and take, you know, when it comes to these runs. One more wave. Great. All right, and last we got our special sauce.
Come on now, get your varmints.
It's no use, Whammy. Must have learned.
But yeah, that's so that we can keep everything moving and stuff like that. Plus, we've already seen all this stuff. I'll start to do my end plugs now, so we can get them out of the way and get on with the rest of the marathon, checking out these awesome runs. But I just wanted to say thank you so much to the supporting Autism Speed Event crew and everyone involved with organizing and getting this event up and running. Thank you so much for doing the work, and thank you so much for having me be a part of it. Like I said countless times throughout the run, this is such a great cause and so important. With how some people choose to perceive autistic people as you know, being in a disability of sorts, which is you know, not the case. You know, they want support, they don't need a cure, you know. So I really appreciate the people putting on this event, and thank you so much for doing so. Like I mentioned also countless times, if you want to run this game, it's very accessible. Come on by speedrun.com/Bugsnax. We got guides, we got resources for any of the categories that you might need. You can also join our Discord there, which is great. We're a very friendly bunch, and we're always willing to help out new people. So come on by. Yeah, again, we got trapped on the ramp there. Funny. We also have a subreddit, r/Bugsnax speedrunning. So if you want to like post your clips or have questions and you prefer using Reddit over, say, Discord or the speedrun.com forums or something like that, you're more than welcome to do so. Come on by there. And then if you love like fun speed runs, or occasionally we'll do some casual plays of some goofy games and stuff like that as well, feel free to come on by my channel, twitch.tv/konceptionSR. I play a lot of Bugsnax, but I also play a lot of other fun games like Pokemon and some fun, you know, other goofy and cool speed runs. So come on by, check it out. And we're about to wrap up the 80% run here too. Also went pretty well, Not as close to world record as the no major skips run was, but
Hey, buddy. All right.
still really good.
I know. I can. Great.
Oh boy, there we go. All right, time is coming up.
Don't worry. You're fine. This awesome.
And
So,
time. All right, low 17. World record on that on console is 16:25. So still pretty close, within 30 seconds. You can't 40 seconds rather. Can't complain. But yeah, I already said my plugs. Come check me out. Come check out Bugsnax. Thank you so much for having me, and enjoy the rest of the event. I know I will.